Soledad O'Brien, and this is a special edition of Matter of Fact. Today we profile several veterans and an active duty service member who struggled to get a diagnosis for post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Right now, there's no objective, concrete test to diagnose PTSD. In 2013, the Department of Veterans Affairs treated more than 500,000 veterans for post-traumatic stress disorder. Their diagnosis based on results of a survey filled out by veterans and service members who are sometimes in denial or worried about the stigma that could accompany the label. Classified as a psychological disorder, it's treated with therapy and sometimes medication. But one researcher has found new evidence that some war veterans may have gotten PTSD because of their exposure to blasts, not trauma. Jacob Fadley, a former Army photographer, walked away from many blasts without a scratch, at least on the outside. Jacob Fadley was a photographer in the Army, recording images of war. But it wasn't so much what he saw that stayed with him as what he felt. What does a concussive blast feel like?
It's just like an entire force is being pushed through you, something powerful.
He did 4 tours in Afghanistan and Iraq. For 12 years, he was rattled by blasts. At home, he was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Did you think you had post-traumatic stress?
No, I knew I had PTSD. But I never wanted to say that, because when you say it, then you have to deal with it.
He's cutting very, very thin ribbon of sections of this portion of the brain.
Dr. Daniel Pearl believes PTSD, like what Fadley is experiencing, may be caused in part by exposure to blasts. He's a neuropathologist at the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences, an entity of the Department of Defense.
When the explosion goes off, it forms what's called a blast wave, which is a high-pressure pulse that expands out from the blast in all directions at the speed of sound, approximately. And so here you have a high-pressure pulse passing through this delicate instrument called the brain. Now, this is from an individual who had been in an automobile accident.
Dr. Pearl is comparing the brains of soldiers who experienced those kinds of blasts to those of non-vets who suffered traumatic brain injuries.
Now, let me show you the same procedure, roughly the same area of the brain, same stain.
Oh, wow.
This is somebody who'd been exposed to an IED, to blast.
And is this a person clearly has blast exposure? Do they also have post-traumatic stress disorder?
Yes, all of the cases that we looked at have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
The Veterans Administration categorizes PTSD as a psychological disorder, not a physical injury. Yet they, too, are beginning to see a connection. Dr. David Shulkin is Secretary of the Department of Veterans Affairs.
It is a condition that impacts the brain. The brain's connection to the body and to the physical symptoms is so integrated. So it's really not a clear distinction between brain disease and physical disease. These are really well connected.
33 and eligible for the GI Bill, Fadley came home. He studies film at USC. His thesis is called Into the Trenches and focuses on his struggle with PTSD.
Depression on a scale of 1 to 10?
3.
Anxiety on a scale of 1 to 10?
7.
He hopes research will one day help him explain what caused those symptoms.
It makes you feel like you're not crazy. You can point to something to someone else and say, do you see this? This thing did it.
Fadley didn't get treatment for his PTSD until he was involved in a terrible car crash. He drove into the path of an oncoming train by accident. He recovered, and he's now finishing his film on PTSD and getting treatment.